Hello class, this is my video on social justice. So cultural humility is not a term that I've heard before this class, which is pretty interesting because I do teach a lot of cultural competency for my organization. And for me, I'm mixed, I'm Spanish and white. My wife is mixed as well, she's Black and Spanish. So essentially our children are very mixed with all our different cultures. I really believe that in counseling, cultural humility is the basis of working with somebody who is from a different culture as you. If you look at page 212 in the Simmons, Zillian, Kukli book, Self-Reflection, Learning from the Client, Promotion of Partnership Building, and Lifelong Learning as Functions of Cultural Humility, I really believe that this sets a good basis for understanding other people and creating that therapeutic relationship. So understanding ethical principles regarding cultural humility, awareness, advocacy, and social justice. I believe it seems like we're expected to be experts, but the reality is we're absorbing cultures secondhand, usually from books, videos, some kind of webinar, seminars. But the reality is culture has so much nuance to it. Just because you identify with a culture or you're from a particular culture doesn't mean that you identify with all those kind of norms, and we really need to sit down with one another to understand who we are as people in and outside of our cultures. So the one Bible verse that I did pick was Matthew 22:37, which is simply love thy neighbor. I believe that if we kind of start with love, being that it's one of the greatest commandments, that if we can start there, it becomes really easy to build rapport because it's not really about us, it becomes about the people that we're working with. I feel like Jesus does a really good job of kind of this cultural humility. If you think about the man at the pool, the woman at the well, he really does a good job of bringing people into his network who are from different cultures without really judging them and just coming from a place of love. The actions. Focus on the client. Something I always do in intakes is really just focus on the client and their needs, and also just being honest. I feel like when we're just honest, it really kind of sets the stage to be humble and to have that humility working with our families. And if you're working with a diverse population, just let people know that you are not an expert. It's okay to not be an expert sometimes. In listening to the Thoughtful Counselor podcast, the guest Sydney really talks about his experience with the indigenous population of Alaska. And I believe that once we start creating those experiences, getting to know each other, that's when we really start to break ground and really have this cultural humility. Thank you.